Hello, denizens. Sorry, I'm not in my horror movie reviewing attire. So I'd like to give you my thoughts on Robert Eggers' version of Nosferatu. And let me say at the outset, I loved it and highly recommend it. That's it, done. No, wait, I'm required to blather further. Okay. I'm not a horror movie fan. I'm especially not a fan of the super gory variety with the stupid jump scares, but most of all, I just can't stand the tension. There are people who love this stuff but then have nightmares. I'm the opposite. I get way too immersed in the movie while I'm watching it. Who needs the anxiety? Leaving the theater, I was fine and kept thinking just how much I enjoyed this update of F.W. Murnau's 1922 version. A movie so iconic that most people have its long-fingered shadows, images of it burned into their minds without knowing exactly where those images came from. Eggers' Nosferatu seeked to riff off of that original version. I never saw the Herzog movie. You can tell me about the veracity of that one in the comments. Ironically, the original almost didn't survive, as Dracula author Bram Stoker's heirs sued over copyright violation, and a court ruling ordered that all copies of the film be destroyed, which luckily didn't happen. Technically, Nosferatu is still illegal. Eggers' movie worked because of its production design and pacing. I was constantly struck by the costumes. The detail in this movie is staggering. Made for a reported $50 million, I can happily say that every dollar of it made it to the screen. The cast is great. The movie is, any movie is entertainment after all, and it struck the right balance between including new faces like Lily Rose Depp as Ellen Hutter, new to me at least, which tends to make a character seem more believable rather than going, wow, isn't Meryl Streep good, which often takes me out of a movie. Nicholas Hoult, who seems to be specializing in vampire movies, was excellent. Aaron Taylor Johnson was a pleasant surprise. It would have been great to see a vampire versus Craven, scene, but I kid. Then there's Willem Dafoe, who played Willem Dafoe, who we all love. And as fans of movies, we love to see our favorites also. Like I said, the movie was a nice balance of new and old faces. Of course, apart from Depp, the other star was an unrecognizable, in both looks and voice, Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok. And that was Skarsgård doing the voicing. I looked it up. Without question, his menacing performance was key to making the movie work. And just like the original, his absence was just as menacing. Full marks to Eggers for pulling that off. There were moments that were truly horrific, but needed to show us the utter power and depravity of Orlok. His diseased shadow cast across the entire town, causing it to convulse in many deaths in a weirdly sensual way. Of course, the main story is Orlok's romancing of Hutter, which she invites. The movie felt more like an erotic horror version of Wuthering Heights. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. It was enjoyably mannered. That is what I loved most about the movie. It was thankfully devoid of fast-cutting and swirling, speed-ramping camera moves, which I am so bloody tired of. It was a slow burn, but in a good way. The ending follows that of the 1922 film and is horrific and erotic at the same time. Like I said, while I'm no horror film expert, this really felt like a horror movie you could take your date to. The good news is, I love this film. Bad news is, if you're into hardcore horror, that means it probably won't be scary enough for you. You have been warned. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.